YouTube. This is Chris again, and I'm back. Okay, so that was my work history. I cannot work right now. Like I said, my body can't handle that restaurant work, and my depression and anxiety has gotten so severe. I'm so sheltered that it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen right now. I'm working on getting disability. I've been battling it for 3 years. I've been denied initially, but I got a lawyer in fault, and the lawyer gave up on it because the only reason the lawyer gave up on it is because of me. I messed up. There was a period where I did not see my psychologist for about 6 months, and my lawyer's like, no, I told you strictly you have to go to all the visits, and I was really depressed and thought it wasn't helping, and it was taking so long that I gave up. So I'm battling disability still. I'm doing it on my own. It's hard on your own, but I feel as though I've got enough concrete evidence to get it. The only question is, and let's go back to where I started the last video with Donnelly. He talked about his GAF score. I think he said he had a 35 to 45. Well, my GAF score was 44. Or not 44, but 45. I don't know why I said 44. I got the number 44 stuck in my head. My GAF score was 45. So he says his was between 35 and 45. Well, mine was at 45. And I thought that was a little bit high, and I thought I was getting worked over. I thought that's bullshit. And you know, when I watched that video, and I said I felt terrible. I got so depressed because Donnelly did not deserve to be called a hoax and a joke, and he's not. He's a real, genuine person. It's just like I was trying to say, my perception of depressed people, I felt as though they stayed at home, didn't do nothing, and then I was like, well, that's wrong, Chris. You got to realize there are athletes that are depressed. And I guess I was blinded to that fact because all I was seeing was my own depression and nobody else's. Again, I'm going to apologize to Donnelly. That response video that he made was very, very well put together. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It just made me feel even worse, and I deserve that because he didn't deserve for me to call him a hoax. It's just that, man, where I came from here in Pensacola, when I was growing up, girls dug guys with muscles and guys that were, you know, had decent jobs and were doing good in school, and, you know, especially military guys. I mean, I'm from a Navy town, Pensacola, Florida. We are a Navy town. The Blue Angels are out of here. You know, and when I think of military, I'm thinking, God, girls love military men. So it was so hard for me to picture Donnelly truly being that way. And then I thought about it. Even those military men that have wives and children, they get depressed. So I was wrong. I was way off base. It's just, it's so hard for me sometimes to believe that you can have a wife and children and be depressed. It is so hard for me to believe you can have money and be depressed. I have no wife. I have no children. I have no money, and I'm depressed. But I'd like to think if I had a wife, a woman to walk beside me every day, to have, to hold, to love, and that could bless me with a child, my depression may still be underlying, but it wouldn't be as prominent because I would be so joyful to have my wish in life. And money, I've never had money. I've been living hand to mouth, or whatever the old saying is, all my life. Barely getting by, struggling. And the reason why I'm able to live today is because when I did work, and when I was getting unemployment, I got by with the bare necessities, so I was able to actually save money. And that's what I'm doing right now, but that money's starting to dry up, which is why I've got to pursue this disability and not give up, because I know I'm disabled. If I could work, I would do it. The problem is, I know I can't handle restaurant work, and I don't know how to do any other job, and I'm not going back to school. I can't be. If there was a way, I know, okay, they have school online. I don't have a computer capable of the software and stuff, and I can't afford a better computer. So I can't do college online because of my computer. Now, I do frequent the public library. Again, you have an hour time limit. That's not enough to do college, you know, material and work. So I can't do that. And I can't be in the classroom setting. I can't be around that many people right now. Maybe in the future, not right now. Nope, not going to happen. So I know I'm speaking a lot of topics here. I'm trying to give you a little background on me. And I'm trying to give you, you know, some thoughts about Donnelly again, because I really did him a disservice, and it hurts my heart because that man is genuine as hell, and I called him a hoax, and he's not. You know, he showed me the proof, and I appreciate that. I'm going to later delete that video I made, even though it's talking about some of my issues. It's also calling Donnelly out, and it's not going to be on YouTube anymore because it's not true, and I don't feel that way anymore. So I'm deleting that video later today. But again, back to me, you know, like I said, I was just blinded to the fact that you can have a wife and a child and be financially well off, yet be depressed. I don't understand that. Because here I am with nothing, absolutely nothing but my life, in this old minivan that I drive. That's right, I drive a minivan. Want to know why? Because it was given to me. My grandmother gave it to me, or else I wouldn't have a vehicle. She knew that I needed to go to my doctor's appointments and the few things I do. I don't do a lot. And she also knew that I like to drive because it made me, you know, less depressed. I don't know, just driving around aimlessly listening to my music, you know. I don't know. So it was a gift, and I appreciate it. So, but yeah, just some things I want to get off my chest there and discuss, and talk about my work history. And I know for a fact that can't work, and the gap score thing, I should have mentioned that in the previous video. About, you know, the initial Donnelly video, I should have brought up gap score. So like I said, his is between 35 and 45, mine is 45. So, and I thought that I called bullshit, and I even told him, I mean, like I said, I have had the same psychologist for, God, since I was 16, and the same counselor since I was 18, and he won't lower my gap score. I don't understand. I believe that the reason why he won't lower it is because I don't comply all the time. And by not complying is I missed 6 months, and then he took me back, thankfully. But he wants me to try to do so many new things, and I'm trying to tell him I can't, but he's like, yes you can. Give it a shot, give it a shot. And I don't know, he's a psychologist, and he should know me better than anybody, but I firmly believe he might be giving up on me. You know, he's telling me to do this and that, and I'm telling him I can't, but what I think is going on is, I'm not, you know, I haven't progressed in 16, since I was 16. Like I said, I've had ups and downs. It's been a roller coaster ride, but the last 4 years have been nothing but downs and no ups, and what I think is that my psychologist might be seeing himself as a failure when it comes to me. Because when we first started, when I was 16 and I had attempted suicide, and he became my psychologist after I got out of the lockup place that I was in for teenagers. That's right, I attempted suicide when I was 16. I overdosed on pain medication called Ultram. And you can look that up. It was a popular pain medication back in the 90s. So I took 25 of those things, and I could have died, but whatever. That's it for part 2. We're going to move on to part 3.